Hi, my name is Allison. Today we're going to talk about how to calm your system when it's convinced it's in danger. Why does this matter? Well, because your body thinks you're in danger all the time. Literally all the time. It's because of the way your brain is feeding it information and your body is learning to process all the ideas and memories and ways of navigating information all throughout your life. So it's really affecting you all the time. And it is such a crucial factor to how we come into balance within ourselves, how we find rest, how we find release from stress, how we build up our inner strength and how our emotional well being whatsoever is hinged on how we learn how to calm our system when it's convinced we're in danger, because that's a thing that's continually happening and constantly setting it on edge. So if you feel as though you get a lot of anxiety, or it just feels like there's always this foreboding that comes up at any time, whether something is good that's happening, or just the possibility of all the things that could go wrong. If you're like, I'm always in the negative, I'm always thinking about all like the possibilities of wrongness or things that could be bad, then you're in the right place. We're going to talk about what's going on in your body and how we work with it. Okay. So by the end of these, let's say 13 minutes, you're going to have a bigger, a broader view of what's going on with your body and some really granular ways to get into your body and to give it safety, even if it's feeling like completely out of control because it's worried about danger all the time. Okay. Um, I didn't ever know anything about the nervous system. I actually did years of therapy and even like a couple years of coaching from someone before I even learned about the way our nervous system fires all the time and the things that happen within it. So I didn't know that every time I turned around, my brain was looking for danger. I didn't know that my brain actually saw negative emotions as dangerous, and the unknown was dangerous. And it was constantly in response to calculating that and bracing for it and like, how are we going to be okay? It was all happening under the surface, and it put my body into a complete breakdown. There was a year where I didn't know what was going on, but my body did. It didn't have the words for it, but it could recognize that we'd been living under this strain, this tension, this preparatoriness, that's a word, of constantly being on alert and on guard, and worried about danger, and that destroys your nervous system. It destroys your health. It destroys any kind of stability in your life. It's a real problem that happens all the time. So how do we get back in charge? How do we become the one that controls the system instead of the system controlling us? There are a lot of different approaches that people have. Some of them, the traditional therapy route, say things like, well, you have to dig into all of the stories. You have to know all your stories and all the hurt and all the trauma in order to be able um, to heal it or to work with it. Sometimes people say, well, you just have to take medicine. You have to take medicine so your body doesn't have this response and this reaction with this anxiety. Um, I think that what we need more than anything is knowledge. We need to know what's happening and why it's happening, and the default system for, of course, my body is reacting this way if this is how it's thinking. And I think we need ownership, and that's really like an overall thing that I preach on all the time is here is ownership over our system. If you're always living in the past in your stories, you're not taking ownership over your system and your current experience. You're actually just learning how to manage past history. So let's talk for a second about what it means to have ownership over the experience of your system. Okay. This is you. And when you have an experience, when something is going on outside of you, right? It could be anything. It could be like somebody said something, or it could be something with like your work over here, or your goals that you're going through, or like your house, your management of your family. It could be anything outside of there. Your brain, let's draw your big, beautiful brain. It kind of looks like a butterfly when I draw it. Your brain looks at those and it analyzes it constantly. It's constantly saying, okay, if we do this, then this. If we do this, then this. If we do this, then this. And it's looking at situations and it's saying, let's see, is there going to be any negativity there from that person? Is there going to be any punishment? Is there going to be any things that feel bad? And it's analyzing. It's like a computer that's constantly sorting data. And it's like, and it takes the system, the software that it uses was built in you before you were 7 years old, based on your experiences, how you learned to understand the world and people and how they interacted with you. So it's filtering all of these through this system that it learned early on. And it's brilliant. It's very smart. It's then saying, okay, what do we need to do? There's the potential of negativity there. Okay, that means, hey, body, we need to be very prepared. We need to be prepared, embracing, and ready for that. And actually, maybe we need to run away from it, or maybe we need to fight it, or maybe we need to just people please, like real big time fawning, okay? Or maybe we're just gonna freeze up and play dead, right? All of those are nervous system response that your brain is communicating to your body, because it's feeding it all these things that we need to be afraid of. Danger, 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 danger. Everything in the world is danger to your brain. If your brain had its way, you would be locked in a closet for the rest of your life, never experiencing anything, never having connection with anybody. It's the software that it's working with. It's old, outdated software. It's a beautiful ancient brain, but we need to use it in a different way. We need to use it to recognize, oh, this is what it's doing. Brain sees danger. Danger is everywhere. It's communicating to the body because they're constantly talking, and the body's like, oh no, prepare, lock down, freeze up, or fight, or get ahead of it, or fawn, or whatever I need to do, run away, all the things. Your brain instantly, before you even understand what's happening, is going into a like, oh no, here's how we prepare, and it's preparing and locking down all the hatches as soon as there's an inkling of subconscious thoughts, and you don't even know it's happening. It happens in the background. So what do we do when it happens in the background, right? What do we do when we're like, okay, well, how do I start taking ownership over this situation? Well, what you have to do is you have to say, all right, I am the higher mind. I am my body having this experience, right? I am my body. I am also my brain, remembering all these subconscious stories and all these things to be afraid of. And I am also a higher mind. I am a higher voice. I am a higher thought. I have a divine frequency, a wise frequency that I can tap into at any time that is outside of these two things. These go on default. Man, they can play your whole life, that game, and you'll just be like along for the ride and just feel completely out of control. But you have a higher mind. You have a higher mind that you're able to step back and look. And that's why I like to draw, because it pulls me out of the situation and saying, and look at it and say, oh, wait, but there's that and there's that. Okay, who is the me that's saying there's the brain and there's the body? That is the higher self. That is the wise mind. That is the observer. So you step back into this observer position and you just observe. And you don't judge. And you don't shame, because that's part of the things the brain's afraid of, right? No, we're not doing that. We're going to step back and we're going to say, oh, hey, brain, I see you thinking that situation is going to maybe be something that's really dangerous. And whoa, do I see my body responding to it? Maybe you can't even see your brain saying all the things. Sometimes we can see our thoughts happening, and sometimes we can just see the sensations in our body. Either one of those is useful information. I will say that most of the time when I was first learning this stuff, I went straight to my body because I couldn't make sense of my brain and its overwhelm. I went straight to my body and I said, hey, whoa, whew, you're feeling some stuff, huh? What's this? What's this about? Like, what's going on? Where are you feeling it? How can I help you? What do you need? When I was really, really early on and I started asking myself those kinds of questions, it was stuff like I need some socks. My feet are cold. Or I need a blanket. Like I'm feeling like I'm fearful and I need to feel like cocooned and protected. And those were some of the things that my body told me at first. And it was the most obvious basic kinds of needs, but I wasn't paying attention to it. It just showed me I was cold and I didn't even recognize it. How disconnected am I from my body? That's what this is about. It's about reconnecting you to witness your body and its experience, to witness your brain and all the ways that it gives you all the thoughts, and to witness them as an essence, a space, from a space of observation that's outside of it, so that you have then the control and the power. You then get to say, okay, what do I need to give myself in order to bring calm to my body? I see my body, I'm experiencing my body in its massive response to this perceived danger. I'm outside of it. So I can also see my body as like almost like a mammal being. What does this critter, this mammal being of my body need in its basic, most basic arena? Like, what does it need? That is you taking ownership. That is you taking the wheel. That is you saying, wait a minute, brain, instead of looking in this direction, I'm actually going to say, hey, what's up down here? What do we need? Without having to solve all that stuff. I'm going to notice all the things happening, and then I'm going to go straight to my body and say, okay, how can we help you feel a little bit better here? One of the things that you can use that is, I think there's lots of people who talk about doing this, but it's to actually take your higher conscious mind and tell it to use your brain for good, not for evil, and to be like, hey, we're going to show ourselves how we're actually safe. How is it possible that in this moment, right here, we are safe? Ask yourself questions. Asking questions turns your brain in a different direction because your brain has to respond to questions. It's like wired that way. So ask questions and ask something like that. So if I was feeling really fearful right now in my body and like I didn't know, like I just felt like I was under so much anxiety, I would put my hand on my heart and I would say, okay, how is it possible that we are safe right now? Like, what evidence do I have that we're safe right now? And I'd say, okay, well, I see these four walls. I see how all of them are sturdy and around me and protecting me. There's nobody threatening my life right now. I'm in a place that is safe. I see my feet on the floor. I notice that gravity is holding me and supporting me. I notice that even if my breath feels all flustered and like maybe I'm even having trouble breathing, maybe my brain's telling me that, I notice that I'm still breathing because I'm not passed out. So that must mean my lungs are working even if my anxiety is telling me they're not. My heart is beating even though I'm not telling it to, even if my anxiety is telling me, oh no, what if it doesn't? Like all the things that my brain likes to offer me, I ask myself questions on how I'm already being taken care of. Like, how is it possible? Is it possible that I am safe right now? Show yourself very tangible physical things. Like, look at things. Look at the color on the wall. Look at the objects in front of you. Hold something with your hands. Look at your hands. Show yourself very physical, tangible things. Put your hand on your heart. Notice your feet on the ground. Give yourself tangible things to say, this is what I see. I'm going to say it out loud so I can show my brain, so I can talk to my brain, so I can show my body, so I can talk to my body. And I'm going to ask my body, hey, is there anything that'd make you feel a little safer right now? What would make you feel a little safer? And then listen, because your body will tell you information, and it could be really, really small. But these kinds of things really can change your life. They're the kinds of things that we weren't taught to tune into, but they make up the details of how your body learns to trust you. So when your body learns to trust you, your wise soul higher self, it no longer has to default to listening to the fear brain. I remember when I first started learning some of this stuff, it actually felt like my body was like, what? Someone's in charge up there? Because I'd never taken charge of it before. So, all this to say, this is the beginning steps. There are pieces that you build on to build safety within yourself. It has a lot to do with how you continue to build safety and how you talk to yourself, and work on your goals, and work on the unknowns, and work in your relationships, like the relationship you have with yourself. There's so many pieces of material to work with, and you want to build safety in all of them. So this is kind of like the big overview, and clearly there are lots of little pieces to dig into the weeds and really unwind and create more structure and safety within. That's the kind of stuff that we do together. If you're like, I don't even know how to do that, how I would even begin, or maybe it would take such a long time, that's the kind of stuff I do inside of my one-on-one mentorship program. So if you're interested in that and you're like, yeah, that sounds awesome, please click the link below in the description. There's a calendar that you can book a spot to talk about my one-on-one mentorship program, and we'll just see if it's a fit. It is free, and it's just going to be great to connect with you. I would love to see you. I do only work with a few committed women at a time, so if this feels like something that you're really being like your heart is being called towards, you're feeling the pull, I would invite you to make sure you click below and book a spot right now so none of it fills up. And remember, when you feel like your system is recognizing danger, it's like so afraid, you're under anxiety, or you recognize all the signs in your body in response to the feelings of there being danger, you get to be the one in charge always. So even if you continue to feel things in your body, you can still move yourself to a higher state of mind and just observe and just hold and just be like, hey, I got you. What's one little thing that we can do to make you feel a little bit safer? And that will build trust between you and your system will start to lean into your voice instead of just the voice of fear. So if you want to see more things like this, I love to draw out stuff. I love to talk through how all the things work together, how we organize and navigate and put all the pieces together so we can really see what's happening and change what's happening and become the one in control. I have a lot of those on this channel. I would love for you to check it out. If you are interested in this one, you might be interested in one that's how to release tension when your body holds stress. That one was a really good one. And in the meantime, if you want more personalized custom support, make sure you click the link below and sign up for a spot on my calendar. And I'm very curious about your experience with this information. I'd love to know. Did you work with it? What was it like? And I will be back. I will be back for more support to help you navigate connecting your smart brain to your wise body so you can live happy, strong, and free.